Hello. So, I don't believe I've read the combustion engine document, but I was having trouble getting it open and the link wasn't working, so I just decided to do the other one that you gave us, which is how to install ceramic tile floor in the bathroom, which I don't know how to do. I mean, I think I maybe have a general concept of how that's done, but I don't know the specifics of it. So, here we go then. So, learn how to install tile floor. Specifically, how to lay new ceramic tile over an old vinyl floor. Why? See, I wonder why you wouldn't just take up the vinyl floor, why you would put a new ceramic floor on top of it. I don't know if I wonder if there's some advantages or disadvantages to just putting a new floor over top of an old floor. Time, multiple days. Complexity, intermediate, and cost. Well, that's actually 100 to $250. It's cheaper than I thought it would be. Okay, introduction. Give your old worn out vinyl floor a new look with elegant tile. We'll show you how to save hundreds of dollars by installing the floor yourself. Even if you don't have any tile experience, you can tile your bathroom floor in a weekend and end up with a great looking durable floor. I've always had a like like a thing about these articles or whatever that try to tell you to do it yourself, and it's like you can do it so much cheaper than like hiring somebody. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a professional. I would probably mess it up. I would probably just, if I had the money, I would just fork out a little bit extra to have it done well, because knowing me, I'd mess it up. Okay, some tools. Wow, that's a lot. 4-inch diamond blade, angle grinder, a bucket, caulk gun, cordless drill mixer, drywall saw, dust mask, grout float, knee pads, margin trowel, nippers, notched trowel, offset saw, putty knife, safety glasses, scoring knife, T-square. Oh, God, this is a lot. See, and this is like the thing. This is where they get you because they tell you, well, you can do it yourself, no problem, for way less, way cheaper. Yeah, but I have to have all of this stuff. What do I do if I don't have all of this stuff? I got to go out and buy it? No, at that point, I'm just going to pay somebody else to do it. Cover up an old floor. Whether you're replacing an old shabby bathroom floor tile or installing a new one, you can't beat ceramic or stone tile for durability and appearance. When laid properly, it's virtually forever floor tiling that requires almost no care and maintenance. You can select materials from a vast array of colors and textures. We'll cover how to install tile in a few steps. What's equally attractive is that you can lay a first-class tile floor yourself, often in one weekend, and save the $500 to $1,500 cost of hiring a pro. Yeah, but like I said earlier, it's going to cost me probably $500 to get a bunch of this stuff. What if I don't have an angle grinder, a 4-inch diamond blade, or a cordless drill? Uh, where did I leave off at? Okay, yeah. The key to keeping the how-to tile floor a simple job is to cover the old vinyl or other flooring with new thin underlayment that gives you a fresh, clean start. No messy tear out and repair. In this article, we'll demonstrate how to install a thin backer board over the old floor tiling. Then we'll cover tile setting techniques from laying and cutting to grout and cleanup. This is a 2-day how to install the tile floor project for most bathrooms, even if you're not familiar with laying tile. If you're comfortable using basic hand tools and you have the patience to align tiles just right, you can handle laying tile. The entire cost of this laying tile project for a typical bathroom ranges from $300 to $600, which is funny because up here it told you $100 to $250. And now it's saying 300 to 600, estimating the cost of tile project. Tile itself will be your biggest cost, so start by measuring the square. Well, biggest cost if I don't have to buy a cordless drill. The tile itself will be your biggest cost, so start by measuring the square footage of the floor, then add 10% for cutting waste. If you choose more complex layout than the simple grid pattern we used, your waste will be greater. Most tiles sell for $5 to $50 per square foot, but you can spend as little as $3 or more than $50. If you have to install backer board, add $2 per square foot to the cost of the tile. Other materials will cost you about $90, regardless of bathroom size. The tiles you need, including a tile cutter, will total $60 to $80. That is a good point. I never would have thought buying tiles to buy extra because obviously there's going to be some tiles are going to have to cut weird, and you can't use that extra to put somewhere else. So I never thought that you'd have to account for like the waste that you're going to have. Assess your floor. The success of any tile job depends on a solid base, that is, a floor that flexes very little as you walk across it. If you have a concrete subfloor, this isn't an issue. You can lay tile directly over the existing vinyl as long as it's well adhered. possible, avoid tearing out vinyl flooring. Leaving it in places saves time. Leaving it in place saves time, of course, but it also reduces asbestos hazard concerns. Asbestos was used in sheet vinyl and vinyl tile until the mid 1980s. By leaving the vinyl undisturbed, you won't risk sending asbestos fibers into the air. Yeah, but I don't want asbestos in my house. I should probably hire somebody to get that out if that's the case. And so there's a good chance that you'll have to install a backer board over your vinyl floor, or your vinyl to make the floor thicker and stiff enough for tile. The easiest way to see flooring thickness is to pull off a floor register. Otherwise, look for plumbing passageways. There's a ton of words in this that I don't know. That's saying stuff that I don't understand. I don't know what a floor register is. I don't entirely know what plumbing passageways is. I think I can make an educated guess, but I don't necessarily completely know. As a last resort, drill through the floor with a 1-inch or larger spade bit. Your new floor will cover the hole later. To prevent asbestos dust from becoming airborne, mist the bit with a spray bottle as you drill. In addition to floor thickness, you'll need to determine joist spacing. There's an unfinished basement or crawl space below the floor. Simply measure the spacing. There's a ceiling probe for joists with a drill bit. And again, I don't know what a joist is. You'll need to determine joist spacing. I don't know what that is. And it's not explaining it to me. It's not telling me what it is. I mean, I could go and do other research to figure it out, but that doesn't sound very fun. My roommate is sending me text, sorry. If the joists are spaced in 16 inches apart, the layers of structural flooring beneath the vinyl should add up to at least 1 1/8 inch with joists every 24 inches. You'll need, one second. If floor is too thin for tile, add a thicker layer of the backer board. Again, I still don't know what a backer board is. It hasn't told me what a backer board is. And again, I could go find that out by myself, but that's gonna be taking me away from this reading. I'm under the impression that they are writing this for somebody who has already done some floor installations of some sort and done something along those lines. And in that case, then this would make sense. But if this is supposed to be for the layman, quote unquote, for somebody who has no idea how to install a floor, there's a lot of stuff in here that isn't being explained. Backer board, thick backer, a 1/4 inch thick backer. Yours might need a 1/2 inch backer to reach the minimum thickness. Floor is already thick enough. Again, how do I know if my floor is already thick enough? It hasn't really explained that to me. It only said if there's a concrete floor, it's thick enough. But other than a concrete floor, what constitutes thick enough? You can simply prep the vinyl floor and skip backer installation, then tile directly over the final, following the same steps we used over backer board. Regardless of the type of subfloor, there are 2 situations where you can't leave vinyl in place. First, if large areas of the vinyl are loose, don't set tile or backer over it. Small loose spots are acceptable and easy to deal with. Second, cushioned sheet vinyl must be removed before you can set tile. Cushioned vinyl has a foam backing that makes it noticeably thicker and softer than standard vinyl flooring. It's too spongy to support the tile or backer board. Before removing it, call your local health department for instructions on how to check for asbestos and proper procedures if asbestos is present. And again, if asbestos is present, this job is going to probably cost you way more than $200. You're not going to want it in your house. Gather advice while you shop. Home centers will carry everything you'll need for this project, but begin shopping at the tile store where you will more likely to get expert advice on how to lay tile. Make a quick sketch of your floor plan and jot down all the dimensions. Also take a photo of the floor at the doorway. This will help the tile store staff recommend a transition to neatly joint the tile to the halfway flooring. Transitions come in different styles to suit any situation. When you choose the tile itself, ask if it requires any special installation steps. Some tile, for example, should be coated with grout release before grouting. Ask about cutting techniques for the tile. You'll use sanded grout for the floor. Ask if sanded caulk is available in a color that matches your grout. Floor tub wall joints. Prepare the room for installing ceramic bathroom floor tiles. I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm not really getting much from this. Like, I feel like I still have no idea how to install a tile floor. All I know so far is that make sure that your floor is thick enough before you install it, and there better not be asbestos, and if there is, you have to deal with it. For the installing ceramic bathroom floor tiles. First, get the toilet out of your way. Stuff a rag in the hole to block sewer gases. If your home only has one toilet, you can leave it in place until you install the backer board. Keep a supply of wax rings in hand if you plan to reinstall the toilet at the end of each day. If you expect to keep your vanity for many years to come, leave it in place and tile around it. But if you think you might replace it, remove it now. When the job's done, you can reinstall the old vanity or put in a new one. Having the vanity out of the way gives you more workspace and you won't have to cut backer board. And this also eliminates the floor tiling repair problem if you install a smaller vanity or a pedestal sink in the future. Pull the baseboard or pull off the baseboard or plan to add base shoe molding. Again, I don't entirely know what baseboard means. Is that the molding along the floor? I see molding there, or if you plan to add base shoe molding. I wish this had some, I don't know, this is an online article, so I wish there were maybe some hyperlinks I could click on that would take me to stuff that explains this. Looking job because the edges of the tile will be covered later. Jagged cuts and slight measuring mistakes are hidden. If your baseboard has base shoe molding, remove it only the base shoe, backer board, and the tile. Raise your floor 3/4 of an inch or move. So I have to remove and undercut the door. To mark the door for cutting, stack backer board, tile, and 2 layers of cardboard on the floor. Mark the 1/2 inch above the stack, remove the door, and cut off the bottom. I'll be honest, I'm having one of those moments where I feel like I just read from here at Gather Advice While You Shop all the way down to right here, and I have no idea what any of this means. I, I have absolutely no idea what any of this is saying. Project step by step. Scrub, screw, and patch the floor. Scrub the floor with stripper. Drive screws into the floor joists. Oh, okay. So what a joist? Wait. So is a joist the seams between the vinyl flooring that you may or may not have in your bathroom? Assuming you have vinyl flooring, is it the seams between them? Is that what it is? And that driving a screw through it, will that help hold it down, or is that supposed to? It says how to remove tile from a concrete floor. Door trim to accommodate tile. Door casing. Offset saw. Again, what if I don't have an offset saw or backer board or a lot of stuff that I probably wouldn't have. I wouldn't have any of this. I don't know what this is. I wouldn't have one with that. I'd have to buy that. And loose sections of the vinyl with a utility knife. Fill the void with thin set using flat edge of a notched trowel. Scrub the floor with a vinyl floor stripper following the manufacturer's instructions. The stripper will dissolve wax and other residue. Scrub with an abrasive scouring pad. The tiny scratches left. Next, drive screws into the floor joist. If there's an unfinished basement below the floor. This is mostly what it told me before, right? It's just kind of repeating itself. If you can't locate the joist from below, pick a spot near one wall and drill a hole. If the bit breaks through into hollow space, move over 1 inch. Or is the floor joist, is that maybe like assuming that you don't have a concrete flooring here, though that's the like the 2x4s running under the floor that make the floor. Is that what it is? I still don't know. I still don't know what a floor joist is, and not once has this tried to explain it to me. Install backer board. I'm assuming backer board is just the stuff that goes on top of the vinyl that the tile then goes on top of, but I don't think it ever specified that for me. Backer board, cut inside corners, circles with dry saw, inch, drywall saw. Place core and snap the backer board. Make straight cuts, make 3 passes, and snap the backer over 2x4. All the pieces have been laid out, label them, and set them aside. Like this seems like a whole process. Like it's just telling me the steps to the process on how to do this, but it's not really explaining anything specific. Like it's like take the backer board, score it, and then snap it, and then label all of it. Well, label what? What am I labeling? It says like I'm supposed to label them and set them aside. Like I don't. Am I supposed to like the position they're gonna go? Like I don't know what I'm labeling. Bed of thin set just large enough for each piece of backer board. Notch trowel helps with 45-degree angle. Cover the joints. Oh, this is a lot right here. This is adhesive back mesh tape over the joints and skim the tape with a set. Packer board is fastened with a combination of screws and thin set adhesive. Cut and lay all pieces. After cutting and fitting, I'm just thinking to myself right now, if I were trying to actually install tile in my bathroom, I'd have to read this article multiple times to understand what I'm doing. And now there's information within the picture that it's giving me. I'd have to read that. This is this is a lot. At this point, I think I would probably just hire somebody to come do this if I had the money to do that. Okay, create your own floor tile layout. I'm skipping over a little bit of this because this video is already getting a bit long, and I don't want this to be a 20-minute video that I put up on Moodle. Cut and set the perimeter tiles after the thin set beneath the full tiles. This trowel is using, there's just so much here, and I don't. Step 18, transition strip. Something that's supposed to be, nothing that is supposed to be quote unquote easy or cheap should require 26 steps to do. Pack the joints with grout. Back and forth across the floor. Mix the grout to a mashed potato consistency, adding mixture. See, I like that. If you say mashed potato consistency, I know what it is. But if you try and tell me like some technical term about what it should look like or something, like that's going to be hard. I mean, this I vaguely remember doing, where my parents replaced their kitchen floor tile a few years ago, and I helped my dad do the grout on the floor. So that kind of makes sense. So then you're gonna scrub off all the extra grout they got on there that you don't want. Tile cutting tools. Yeah, like I don't have this. What happens if I don't have this? I don't have a tool to cut tile. An angle grinder. Since I've got nippers. Contour gouge. I don't have one of those. Okay, well that was overwhelming. That was a lot. I still don't know if I know how to like a tile floor. Admittedly, I skipped over a little bit, which I'm gonna be totally honest. Sometimes when I'm reading something for class or something that I'm supposed to read, I do that sometimes too. So that's not entirely out of nature. But yeah, that was a little bit stressful because I was sitting here the whole time trying to follow along and think of how I would do a tile floor, only to realize that none of what I'm reading I'm understanding at all. And I would probably have to read this article multiple times if I wanted to correctly install a floor. I still don't know what joists are, by the way. So there's that. Well, thank you.